What do 96% of all the United States presidents and vice presidents have in common? They were all affiliated in Greek life at their university. Today, I want to inform you all about the tradition and impact Greek life has had in America. Greek affiliation has been a vital part of America's upper education system since the 18th century. I will be discussing three main points. First, I will be talking about the history and establishment of fraternities and sororities. Then I will be discussing Greek requirements, obligations, and the recruitment process. Lastly, I will be discussing how Greek life has evolved over time. First, let's talk about the history and establishment. Fraternities emerged in the late 1700s. Back then, Latin and Greek study was dominant in the higher education system. In order to even get into a university, it was a requirement to know Latin. Once you began studying at the university, you were taught Greek. Greek was seen as a very prestigious language, and if you knew it, you were considered well-cultured. Frats all began when a group of students formed a debating and literary society. The societies had private libraries and elaborate lounges that drew in a lot of new members into the society. Many societies started popping up with Latin names. The earliest Latin lettered society was called FHC, Flathead Club, which founded at College of William and Mary in 1750. Societies then changed to Greek letters to prove that they were more prestigious than any other societies. The mottos of each Gilo were also in Greek and were only revealed to initiates. The first Greek-lettered organization was Pi Beta Kappa, which was an elite academic honor society founded on December 5, 1776. As upper education progressed, Greek and Latin influence decreased and the Greek mottos disappeared. However, the Greek-lettered names stayed as they were part of tradition now. Women began to form their own societies nearly a century later. Michael A. Grandio from the article Social Fraternities and Sororities stated that Alpha Theta Pi was the first female fraternity that formed a small private female college named Wesleyan in 1851. Latin scholars were upset with the contradicting statement female fraternity, which translated to female brotherhood. An agreement was made to name female Gilos sororities, meaning sisterhood. Now that I provide historical context about the origination of Greek life, I will now go over the specifics such as the recruitment process, obligations, purpose, and requirements. Requirements, obligations, and recruitment process vary for different Greek life organizations and universities. Students who want to join a fraternity or sorority participate in a recruitment process called Rush Week. Orientation takes place the night before recruitment, and this is where you meet the recruitment counselor and group. Recruitment is performed in many rounds. The student will go and meet all the fraternities and sororities and then rank which organizations they see themselves at and drop the ones they don't want. After round one, it is invite only and remains that way until pref, which is the last round. Bid day is when the students find out which Gilo they got into. Each Gilo has their own requirements and dues that follow a similar guideline. Students must keep a 2.0 to 3.0 cumulative GPA, have 12 credit hours, and be in good standing such as academic integrity and good conduct. From the paper Greek Life Academics and Earning, William E. Evan discovered that Greek affiliation has led to a 0.1 to 0.3 reduction for students due to the time consumption from fraternities and sororities. The cost of Greek life is known as dues. Dues cover liability insurance, house upkeep, scholarships, and social events. Dues can range from $1,000 to $2,000 depending on which fraternity or sorority. All Greek life share a common purpose, which is scholarships, service, and philanthropy, and networking. Networking can lead to internships, employment opportunities, and recommendations. All planned conventions, parties, service dates, and monthly meetings are mandatory and are expected to be a priority. Now that I have talked about the requirements and obligations, I will discuss how Greek life at universities have changed over the centuries. A lot has changed from the late 1700s to today, especially the upper education system and extracurriculars. Greek letter organizations grew and became more personalized. Little debating and literary societies that had a total of 5 members grew into Gilos that have 35 to 40 members. Fraternities and sororities began to find their own personalities, mottos, and heritage. However, in the last century, fraternities began to initiate misconduct and threaten the safety of members. Hazing was present in 1780, but it was a subtle punishment when chores were not completed to promote obedience. Shamis Banks stated in the article, The State of Fraternity and Sorority Life in Higher Education, which was published in 2020, that a man named Timothy Piazza suffered from an injury caused by hazing, and it resulted with death because the other members did not call for medical help until 12 hours after the injury. Not only is hazing a danger to members, but there are also attributes such as increase in eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia. quality attributes from the founding Greek organizations have remained the same. Philanthropy and community involvement is still a key component in Greek life. The idea of brotherhood and sisterhood still exists within the Greek system. The main purpose was for unity and sense of belonging. As I come to a conclusion, I want to readdress my key points. Today, I discuss the history of fraternities, the regulations, obligations, and recruitment process, and also the evolution of the Greek system. Greek life affiliation will remain a vital part of America's upper education system for centuries to come. It has a lasting grip on the development of young adults. Whether that grip is beneficial or not varies. However, it is imperative to recognize the power GLOs have in their intended purpose.